Right here is the upper front bodice folded. So I have my fabric on fold 16 inches. The bust I'm actually working with is 41 inches divided by 4, that's 11.25. I then added extra to it to make 16 inches because it's a bustier cut. I have marked my back there, which is 15 inches divided by 2, 7.5. I added extra half inch to it as sewing allowance, so that makes it 8. And to my chest line too, I have marked 8 inches as my chest line. I'll pick my ruler now and then form the armhole with the curve ruler, as you can see. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is to impute my other verticals. The next line I'm going to mark out is the bust point line, okay, which is 11 inches. And then the next is the under bust length, which is 13.5. I'll mark out 13.5 and then proceed to the half length, which is 15 inches. As you can see, I have extra like 2 inches extra over there. That will serve as my sewing allowance. Right away, I'm extending the line to the other side of the fold, as you can see. The next we are going to be doing is impute our gap measurements. The gap we're working with is 8 inches divided by 2, that gave me 4. I added extra half inch to it, that's 4.5. Okay, so I'm just going to mark 4.5 all the way from the chest line, from the bust points to the half length line. Do you see? In an horizontal way, I connect the point. I'll move forward to the neck area of our clothes, and then on the line, on the shoulder line, I mark half inch, and then I'll come back to the neckline area and mark 3.5 inches. That will be the width of the neck. I will take my ruler now and connect the points. I mean the neck line points and the neck width point, and then the line on the shoulder to form a shoulder slant. Okay, so next I'm going to do is find the midpoint of the remaining line on the shoulder line, and that is 4 inches, right? So I've marked the midpoint, which is 4 inches, and then we'll come back to the underbust area. On the right side of the underbust line, I marked 1.5, and on the other side 1.5 to form the darts. Okay, like I said, that is a princess dart cut, bustier cut. So on the half length, I mark 1 inch on both sides, as you can see. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is pick my curve ruler and then connect the line first to the under bust in like you see me do. Okay, so I'll connect the other side too, and afterwards I'll turn my ruler to the cuff area of it to connect the underbust the points on the underbust, I mean the 1.5. I'll connect it to the bust point area. Do you see what I'm doing? Okay, like I said, that we are cutting a princess dart bustier. Okay, so I'm connecting the other side also. Next, I'm going to connect the line to the shoulder, the midpoint on the shoulder. Do you see what I'm doing? Okay, so I'm just going to connect the points of the mid shoulder point to the bust point, and then pick my tape rule. On that point, I'm going to go up by ½ inch, mark a point there, ½ inch on the point of the midpoint line, and ½ inch below it. And then the next is I'm going to form a new line from the bust point to the line, to the new point below the midpoint, and then connect the other side to the upper point on from the midpoint. I hope I've not confused you. Now to the down one, I'm going to come up by 1.5 and make an extension to form a new armhole for our dress. This is always done because it's a bustier and to avoid shortage. Okay, so next is I'm going to impute the the body circumference. Like I said, that the bust I'm working with is 41 inches divided by 4, which is 11.25. Now remember that I came up and formed another extension to the armhole. That we're going to cut off there must be added to the new measurement on the bust. So I added 1.2 and then added another 3 inches sewing allowance. I extended the line to the bust point. Okay, so now we'll proceed to the under bust circumference. The under bust circumference is 37. I divided by 4 and then added the dart allowance and then the extra sewing allowance to it. The same thing I'm going to have on the half length area, but for this time around I'm just adding 2 inches extra that and then 3 inches sewing allowance to it. Okay, so right away I'm going to come back to the neckline and then mark 1 inch over there. This is not actually necessary. I just did that for it to give me a way at that neck area. By the time I open it, I'll go to the side area and then cut the whole thing out. Right away I stopped the cut at the armhole area and then open the whole thing, as you can see. Now the next thing I'm going to do is from the neckline I'm going to mark 7 inches downward. Okay, this is we forming the asymmetric neckline. I'm going to mark 7 inches on the both side. Now I'm going to go to the other side of the neck and mark 7 inches also, and then connect it in a straight, connect the two lines together. Do you see? Now what I'm going to do next is place my ruler, my cuff ruler, because the neck, the asymmetric neck is actually not a too straight one, so I want it a bit curvy. That's why I place my ruler that way. Do you see it? Do you see the way I place my ruler? I'm just going to make a connect of the lines in a curved way, like you see me do. Do you see it? Do you see how curved it is? I'm just trying to bold the whole thing for you to see it clearly. Okay, so afterward I'll pick my ruler now and then cut it out. By the time I cut it out, I will have the neck to the left side, the slant to the left side of the neck. So I'm just going to cut the whole thing out. Now after cutting it out, this is the way the whole thing came out. I'm just going to cut the shoulder slant and then open it for you to see the way it is. Now guys, this is the center point, as the center piece, like you know, and you can see how the neck came out, and then we have the two other sides. All I'm going to do now is go ahead and cut the wording that we use in padding it, and also cut the lining. Okay, and then proceed to the sewing machine and join everything and come back to show you the way the whole thing came out. Now guys, this is the way it is. I've gone ahead to fix the bust, the wording to the bust, and this is the way it is. And the lining, all I'm going to do now is stitch the neck area and then the two sides. After doing that, this is the way it is. All I have to do now is notch that corner, the corner area of the neck, and then notch other side for it to turn out well without the lining having to flip out. Do you see the way the outcome is? Guys, we have come to the end of this tutorial. The tutorial is not going to be longer than this. Thank you guys for staying true to the end. See you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.